Previously we look at the uh, theory of the discovery service, Eureka server, and now we'll look at the some code, how this is configured, all these things. In our example, we have one Eureka server, and then there is a movie service which communicates with the review instances. So we have basically two services. One is movie, another is review. Movie contain the list of movies, and all of their reviews are stored at the review service, or review service is responsible to provide that. So let's look at the Eureka server. So the most important thing is a dependency, which is Spring Cloud Starter Netflix Eureka server. So that's how we turn any service into a Eureka service. And then the second thing is we enable here Eureka server in the main application or Spring Boot application class. In the properties, we just define the port and some of the configuration. That's it. And that's how this one simple Spring Boot project is converted into a Eureka server. We don't need any code, we don't need anything else. We just need one class, which is enable Eureka server and Spring Boot application. That's it. It will boot up. Service is up. Now let's look at the console. So this is the console. We started this application on 9000. Okay, and there are currently no instances available. Now look at the review service, how this register itself, how it works. So remember, this is a Eureka client. In review service, we just add Netflix Eureka client dependency, and then in the application Spring Boot startup application, we just define here enable Eureka client, and then we have to provide the address of the Eureka server where it need to register. So our Eureka server is running on port 9000. So here we have defined it like to register over there. Here is the name of the application, like WS review service. So this is our project, which is a Spring Boot application, and we want this to be recognized as WS service. And we have defined port 0 because we wanted to occupy automatically or randomly one of the available port. Here is some configuration related to Eureka, how soon it has to refresh the list, etc. And here we are defining the scheme, how it will name the instance IDs. So if we start this service, it's running on some random port. Let's refresh. Our service is now registered here with WS reviews. This is the application name and this is the instance ID. If we want to access it, here is we can see a review. So this review is for movie ID 1, and there is another review which is also for movie ID 1. So there are two reviews. Now look at the movie service, which will be consuming review service. So movie service is also pretty straightforward. This is just one Spring Boot web application. Here we have added a dependency, again the Eureka client, and then we have enabled here Eureka client, and then here is the configuration, where to register itself, or the address of the Eureka server. Application name is movies ws, port 0, and the rest of the things are same. So if we run this service, it's running on some random port we don't care about, because if we go here and we refresh, here we can see our movie services registered here. Let's access this. Here we can see our movie and the reviews it's pulling from the other service. So movie service is talking to the review service. Simple and straightforward. How this communication happens? This is very important. So we use Feign client in the service. So here we have find by ID. First it filters or fetch a movie from the database, and then using the Feign client, it fetches all the reviews, list of reviews it fetches. So this is a Feign client. It's a simple interface. You just annotate it with the Feign client, then you tell the service name or the URL where you want to access. But as we are leveraging the Eureka clients feature, we are leveraging the ribbon feature for load balancing. So that's why we are using here WS reviews. It is the service name which is registered with the Eureka server. Here is the rest of the path. So it make request to this URL, which is basically it's going to here. Now that's how it communicate, which you just create an interface, that's it. And let's circle back to our POM file. So here I have added open Feign client dependency here. So you have to add this dependency, then you have to enable Feign client, and yeah, that's it. And in the interface you have to define at the rate Feign client. Now it works as your REST template, or instead of doing all the static um, HTTP connection and all those code, you just create an interface. An interface is an open Feign, it's a Feign client, so which means that it will create the implementation itself, and that's it. It will load balance as well. And we can see here the example, it's perfectly talking to the other service. Another important aspect is the load balancing. So if I have created an endpoint in the movies, so we know that movie is talking to the review instance. So if we access this URL, it is basically getting the port number from the review service and printing here. So the random port that was generated on the review service is this one. So if we keep refreshing, it remains the same because there is only one instance. So let's duplicate this. Yeah. So if I duplicate it, I have another copy here. I will accept it, okay, and try to run this service. So the second instance is also up. Let's go here and refresh Eureka server, and now we can see here we have two instances of the review service. Okay, there are two instances. Now if I go here and refresh this, we can see here it's now changing the port. So it's a round robin, it keep changing the port. So the port number is coming from the review service. Now the movie service is once talking to this service, and then I talk to the other service. And that's pretty much about the service discovery, load balancing, and the Feign client. Remember, Feign client is similar as REST template. You just create an interface in here, and then it can internally use ribbon functionality. Ribbon is basically the load balancing part, and the Eureka client, as it retrieves all the addresses from the Eureka server. That's it. Thank you.